right? There's just I'm not sure if he feels like he can't be seen, but it's just like really silly to point it out. But yes, you know, SBTC, they do give that leeway once again to BURIRAM, and again, I'm wondering why they're taking the draft a little bit passively. They're bringing in the Nunu and the Willem too, which we have seen has been a wild card over here, but they didn't have a lot of success with that earlier. I mean, Jess, are you scratching your head right now?
Oh, apparently no. I do think that this looks this makes more sense compared to
Earlier.
yeah, the earlier draft that SBTC tried to bring out Nunu.
Interesting. And you know, as you mentioned over there, if they don't get the Kaisa, somebody else can pick up the Corki, and we are seeing a Keno on the Thresh. We have seen the Thresh, not that great of a win rate, but in terms of SBTC using this champion, it's pretty good. Riku, final picks are in. What are your thoughts here on this draft?
I'm surprised Gragas wasn't picked. You definitely need that disengage up against, BURIRAM United, especially the fact that, again, they're very incredibly strong when it comes to the 5v5. They need that cast. They need the body slam as well to help engage and disengage. So now they've picked up a Thresh. That means they're hoping to win, possibly maybe the 2v2. Maybe perhaps they get to basically put Shiba on early ganks to set up basically for Kiral for that early lead. Maybe, just maybe. We'll see though, because the Thresh, remember, in the series yesterday, didn't pan out so well. Only one victory out of 5 games against Team Secret yesterday.
Yeah, and as we enter Game 3 again, this could be it for BURIRAM United, and if it is, they are going straight into the Horizon Cup. This is incredibly crucial right now. SBTC Esports, they need to come back. It is now or never. Casters, over to you guys.
Thanks a bunch, Mika, and hear that, TG? Horizon Cup is calling for BRU, who are 2-0 up on this series.
I see it on the horizon, Grandin.
Oh,
and I see
BURIRAM
getting on the plane to fly over that horizon. They've just got to win one more game.
And all the stakes lie on this, but BRU, they've gone back to their bread and butter. This
That's
staple
good. Get it
composition,
out.
SBTC. They have something interesting here as well, TJ.
Yeah, it's a little bit, I don't know, it's a little bit more of a return to form from SBTC. At the very least, they have built themselves more options in the late game with the addition of the Ziggs to this roster. We flip Kiral off of the Varus. I think he was performing pretty solidly on, but he's now onto one of his power picks. This is going to be the Kaisa alongside the Thresh Arkano in lane. That's going to be SBTC's ticket to disrupt the early game. Kiral is very good at this. If he can get an early lead going here, SBTC, oh my god, Noel, that was dirty. If Kiral can get an early lead here, he can disrupt what BURIRAM want to do, which is the same as it has been for the last couple of games, but they got a little bit more late game damage now that Kinemon's on Corki.
Yeah, it's a shift away from that, and we're looking to see if Kinemon is able to be that late game damage carry, or it's going to be Kiral, because we've seen it go both ways, honestly. Whichever side's able to build that early game advantage is the one that turns out with the stronger marksman, and well, that could be the difference being made. That being said, though, I'm a huge fan of Supporter on this Galio. I feel like he's done such an amazing job. As I say that, well, he's going to face a tough time against SBTC, burning the heal and the flash away for 1 Ignite.
Yeah, both these supports are really good, but Arkano, you know, I was listening to Riku. She was saying Arkano lost all his games yesterday on the Thresh. All right, that was true, but he looked really good while losing it. And so I'll go to bat for this Thresh. And I think I think it's very good in lane, because if he can find a key hook here, he can set up for Kiral to snowball, which is the dream. If you can get Kiral out ahead, it means 2 things. 1, of course, you have that late game Kaisa come online. 2, you delay the Corki.
That's amazing. Look at that crowd control layered through TJ. Shiba comes on big, giving Noel first blood.
That's why you play Vi. Shiba shows up in the top lane and finds the kill, handing it over to Noel, which is very important for BURIRAM. He's not going to do a ton of damage, but his ability to split team fights on this Jarvan has, I think, been a deciding factor in both of BURIRAM's wins so far in this series.
Oh no, but TF, he's walked into Shiba. He's gonna have to heal up. Go-Kart ready. They catch the Nuno off by the side. Will force the flash away as well.
Oh, good hook.
I mean, I'm not sure this is gonna be enough. Support's gonna turn things around, though. Shiba has to come in here, and
dear.
it's the kill to Kinemon.
It really could not go any worse for SBTC. They're now down 1,000 gold. This isn't dire or anything, because kind of no matter what, Minas is going to have an advantage into Noel. Noel plays this lane very well, but he's playing as a very passive character into Darius, who does real damage. So most Noel can do here is just kind of vibe, and vibe aggressively, which is what he's doing. And down bottom, Akano dies, but he's the support. So the scoreline at the top isn't as bad as it looks, but I also want to make sure we understand this is real good for BURIRAM.
Absolutely. I mean, they've been able to build some tempo here. Aquino is starting to rotate around. You saw him take the flash away from Achini, but it's not the best spot.
We got a dragon coming up now. So all of this, the flash missing, the play up in the top lane, all of this is going to be tested as we get into our first major fight. And I will say that SBTC do have an advantage here. Kirol does a little bit more damage than Corki during the early game. Kai'Sa's pretty scary during these first couple of minutes because her passive means that her auto attacks are just more effective than anyone else's, so long as she can land 6 of them onto the same target. So let's see if SBTC can wield that aggressively. They're already starting to set up vision around this dragon. All of BURIRAM are making a beeline towards it.
We did see Anthony with a miraculous steal on the Rift Herald in the first game. We'll see if something like that repeats itself. SBTC coming in here, but it's going to be BRU to pull the trigger. Lock them down with the package. It's enough damage to take down TF first. But the remaining members of BRU are looking low. Supporter comes in big with the heroic entrance. And Noel is still in the face of Kiro. The flagging dread comes across. Barely misses out on damage. Take him down. But the gold card onto Julie. Forces them away. They take down Kinemon though.
Julie still poking away, still chipping away. He's got low HP targets, but Dragon's already been taken. Oh!
Ooh, Noel! He's still alive! He's still alive!
He's so low. Here's the chase. I don't think he can get it. Julie, what is this? Oh, he's going for it. No.
But in the meantime, TJ, while the dragon was going over the BRU, it looks like Rift Tower started up by SBTC. At the same time, topside turret, the Baron lane out of tier turret's gone over to Minas as well, who's now found himself a solid 700 gold lead.
Yeah, this is actually pretty big because the Rift Tower's going to be in SBTC's pocket, and they have somebody to put it onto now. Minas has come into this roster for Yanaro, and whenever they need a carry, it feels like you bring Minas out on the Darius. If he shows up here, now, oh...
No!
Too late.
Kinemon!
Okay. That was just wildly aggressive. I love that from Kinemon. BURIRAM are just playing on the edge right now. They're playing so aggressive. But they're going to have a roadblock from this top lane. Minas is now on a pretty massive gold lead. He's completed Denman's plate. He's going to be able to run into these fights with Denman plate and Gargoyles and pretty much ignore the damage from Corki during this early game. So he's kind of, I think, the hope here for SBTC.
Sure, but Minas has to be actively a part of these fights, which he hasn't been able to. He's been on the side lane, he's been split pushing, building up pressure across the map. But again, this means that he's not going to be actively a part of these team fights.
Which was a sacrifice they made for that first dragon fight, which I don't think SBTC intended to, like, fight. I think they just wanted to kind of skirmish, and then Shiba changed that by jumping on him. So I suspect... Oh, this is an aggressive Rift Herald here.
Yeah,
check out who's online. Minas is in the area.
They're looking for the catch onto Minas. Here we have the fight starts out. Gold card from Archie to get some good damage off. It's a big cataclysm as well as the hero's entrance. But Supporter and Noel lack the damage to finish off the kills. It's Minas who's joined into the fight now. That finds the first reset. It's a double kill coming across. Chasing after the third. The Valkyrie's going to build some space, but you have to watch out for a gold card. Plus big one, not enough to take him down. And the second Rift Tower charge to boot.
And there's the early game SBTC have been looking for this entire series. Minas farms up a turret in the top lane, and just like that, it's lights out for BURIRAM for this entire next few minutes. BURIRAM still have late game value, but Kinemon, the source of that late game value, is miles away from being able to do major damage. I don't know why Julie was there. That was kind of silly. He shouldn't have been there.
And tried to recall, but actually used his ultimate. I'm going to give it to him. You know, it's not the best spot to be in, but BRU, they're going crazy aggressive here, TJ.
Oh yeah, they're not content. They know what I just laid out is true, and so they're going to try and force advantages across the map, which is risky. This is doubling down and trying to force an advantage against this Darius before he can become truly scary and kind of escort into a dominant mid-game. If BURIRAM can force fights for SBTC here defensively, they can keep SBTC on the back foot for these next couple of minutes, it becomes much easier to get into Corki time. Kirill, are you not taking that lantern? This is why I rage quit playing support.
Well, you don't have to take the lantern. I mean, Kirill's, he's in no danger.
For
He doesn't care about that. They're going for the turret.
But he needs to reset because we're coming into a Drake. Yeah, there we go. Okay. So, the reason why BURIRAM are playing aggressive right now is because they want to keep SBTC on the back foot, and they've done a very good job of doing that. SBTC haven't been able to do very much with their early game advantage that they just earned. I will note, Kirill has just completed Blade of the Rune King. Ludin Zeko completed on Julie. This is about as good as the going is going to get for SBTC. They need to press this 2k gold advantage on the right characters, get Midas into this fight, get Kirill going, and lock down this Drake. Force BURIRAM to fight for it, hopefully.
Well, SBTC, they're moving on to the Dragon first, though. BRU a little bit late to respond. Look at Noel, because on the top side, they're giving this one up. It's not worthwhile for them.
This is the... Oh, Shiba.
Whoa, what's happening here? Maybe he wants to make something happen, but just gonna get back out over the wall.
Blast code early is what just happened. he ended up in the pit with no interest in being there. I think it was Artony who walked in behind him, and I think Artony legitimately just ordered the blast code, and he wasn't ready for that.
Might be the case. Well, we'll look at SBTC trying to dive Archony, takes the flash away from him. TF claps in as well. BRU trying to trade back on the top side. We'll find this turret here.
Okay. So turret picked up. This is really good play from BURIRAM. Like I said, SBTC want to force a team fight here. They want to play with their advantage. And BURIRAM first start by shoving them back defensively, and then follow that up by saying, no, we're not going to fight you for the dragon. You can have the mountain drake. Who needs rocks?
Ooh. Trying to pick off a straggler from SBTC. That's pretty ambitious, Archony.
Yeah, they've got enough
game for him.
They've got enough CC in the area. This is one of the advantages of the compositions that BURIRAM has been playing, that BURIRAM's playing here. Is if Archony lands a stun, you have the instant follow-up from Shiba on the Vi, you have the instant follow-up from the Galio landing a big taunt. It's very easy to combo off of the Galio gold card.
Oh, moving towards the Baron now, it's interesting to see. I mean, despite the fact that I don't think there's that much of a threat of the Baron, it just seems like there's so much pressure there, and both sides have to really respect the possibility that's going to go over the enemy team. Well, nice upper hand onto Shiba. Fortunately, Minas is unable to convert that into more. No follow-up from his team.
Yeah, Minas not really building for damage, going Deadman's Plate into Black Cleaver here. Pressure up top. So he's going to be looking as an engage, and he's going to be looking to get the damage off of his raw stats. If he can start executing people in team fights, that's big.
Okay, catch on to Supporter. Kinemon's going to draw a line in the sand using his ultimate. Supporter's going to get over the wall with Heroic Entrance. Flash forward, Killer Instinct, but Kirill's gone too deep in. He's going to get locked down. Damage coming through from Shiba. Excessive force, not enough to take him down. Kinemon flashes to the wall. Minas in their face, racking havoc. And now Shiba needs to get away. Akilo's caught by the death sentence. The flame that takes him down. The Emperor hand to boot. And they're moving on to the Baron.
That was the sickest thrash play I've ever seen from Akino. He lands the hook onto one, flays the other back, and sets up the bowling pins. Minas comes through like a 1,000-pound bowling ball and knocks down the team fight. BURIRAM are scattered, and SBTC have themselves a Baron and maybe a game in this series.
So much pressure on BRU. The mid lane turret broken open, the top lane turret broken open, and so they had to step up aggressively. You saw what happened there. Supporter tried to get some vision, tried to get some control, was caught by Akino. And this is such a difficult spot for BRU to be in. Now with the Baron though, that's one less threat they have to worry about, but not as much wave clear as this Ziggs for sure.
Okay, watch out for these next couple of minutes though. Oh my, TF.
I'm watching out for it, and it's looking like they're going to catch Akino here. They're going to catch Archony, actually, and they look for the top back Supporter, trying to keep his mid laner safe. Unfortunately, things are looking a little bit difficult with the absolute zero cross, and Akino once again finds a death sentence, puts Kinemon at a distance. BRU give up this turret.
SBTC know they need to win right now. If they let BURIRAM get even a sliver of a hope back into this game, it could get dangerous.
You say that, but they're jumping onto Julie. They're looking for the re-engaged back supporters in the face of 4 from SBTC. Noel's building up space over the back. They've taken down Kino first. Unfortunately, a lot of the damage has been front-loaded, used on the support. Archie's priming up the go-kart.
Noel does such a good job in that fight, yet again, diving on the backlines and separating them completely from Arkano up front. Here come SBTC now having to fight a 4v5 as a result of Noel's heroics, splitting that fight and surviving to the end.
And surviving to the end is exactly what BRU have done, TJ. They've waited out this Baron.
And now SBTC have to fight for this dragon, essentially down a player. Sure, Arkano's respawning, but he's not going to be here at this fight. So I don't know if they can do it. Look, Kirill's on the other side of the map. He's just got back to base.
TF's come in as well. They're trying to use the ultimate from the TF to maybe get some information, get some space. Teleport's coming in now. They're looking to take one down first. Unfortunately, BRU not enough damage to execute the first. You still have this Nunu working magic on the Corki, unable to take him down. He's so tanky, they can't get rid of him. Minas still alive to the front of the damage. Kinemon's gone down. Supporter dead as well. SBTC Kirill chasing after the remaining members who are running back into base.
Kirill teleports back into the middle of that fight. Instant killer instinct, and it's enough. SBTC's backline. The Rabadon's completed on Julie. He's pumping damage out. Kirill's chewing away at the backline, and I think they've kept this series going.
20-second death time is looking too long, and once again, Akino with the death sentences that put BRU in their place. They're gonna take down Archie, the final one to fall, but BRU will see 3 respawn in time.
Yeah, Shiba, Kinemon's supporter, they're all back right now. SBTC, it looks like they're going to back away if they can.
Flash forward, get the lockdown onto Julie Aquino, the Knicks on the hit list if they're taken down. But look at the damage to the base, TJ.
Greedy by SBTC. They know that Julie has the ability to execute turrets, so they're so sure that if they just hang around for a moment longer, that Ziggs can blow up that final inhibitor, and with 2 inhibitors down, it's almost impossible to get back in this game.
SBTC are playing with their tournament lives here. There's still a little bit more.
The Baron. The Baron's coming up, and that's what BURIRAM are positioning for. If they can find a pick, it's their Baron to take.
But it's so difficult. Supporters trying to make it happen. They jump out the Minas first, but he's so tanky, especially with the Gargoyles. Where's Noel? He's not here to set them up.
BURIRAM have to back away. It was a Hail Mary. They brought their entire team up to the top lane in order to contest this Baron, and I don't think they can. Watch that minion wave down bottom. It's about to crash and take that inhibitor turret that they just narrowly saved, and BURIRAM stay here,
Minas is alone
for the Baron fight.
TJ, Minas is alone. He's getting caught out. They're assault batteries enough to take him down. They've lost the Baron laner.
This is huge. BURIRAM, can they fight this? No, they have to go back to base because the waves are crashing. They can't stay.
Well, SBTC, well, look at TF though. He's trying to get an engage off. He's trying to catch up Archie. The death sentence goes wide. Not able to connect Shiba. Maybe looking for the re-engage. Noel's there as well, but Kinemon's gone back to base.
Kinemon's cleaning up the waves. Should SBTC have a 4-on-4?
They're not here for this fight. They try and jump at the back, looking to take down Kirill, but Noel, he has to get out. He has to get away from the Cataclysm of Archie, unable to unload damage. Kinemon's finally joined back in, trying to take down the backline members. SBTC caught in a choke point, and it's BRU coming up big with the damage. SBTC fight back beautifully, and Kirill flashes over the wall to take down Kinemon. It's 3 dead on the side of BRU.
What a team fight! Yes, BURIRAM have a player advantage for half of it, but it does not matter because Julie and Kirill stay at the backlines, pumping out the damage, and with a massive, well-timed Mega Inferno Bomb, they turn that choke point that they were being slaughtered inside of, and SBTC managed to win the 5-on-4, and this means they should be able to get the Baron, especially as they finish off Shiba. This is going to be the Baron, and this might be the game, and it would mean that this series and BURIRAM's Horizon Cup hopes continue for a moment longer.
SBTC, they have the power to brute force onto the Nexus, TJ. They don't even have to set up anymore. Just go in with the waves. They have so much damage to take this one down, and that's going to be the Baron over to SBTC. Next one is that Elder Inferno, a critical one, but it might not mean enough. If BRU lose a few members for that Elder and Drake, they're still going to lose.
I mean, we're going late at this point. This is around the time that Kinemon's going to get scary. You can see him at 3 item completion, but Kirill's a whole item ahead of him. He's got so much more gold because of how SBTC have pressed their advantage. They've snowballed their lead, no pun intended. So they're not going to keep this game going. They're not going to give Kinemon any time to extend his lead. They're going to shove in with this Baron and try and end the game.
Noel's looking for the flank. They jump onto Aquino first. He's the target to focus. You have Supporter jumping into the back. Gets crowd control up, but Shiba's down. Shiba's dead. Noel the next to fall as well, and it looks like BRU, their final stand is not going to be enough because the remaining members are falling. Archie's gone. Kinemon's dead. Supporter's the next to fall. With 4 gone aside, BRU SBTC will pull this into a game number 4.
We have a series on our hands as SBTC step up